Hello everyone and welcome to Magical Me. I'm Jamie Mendez, spiritual intuitive and oracle, and I'm here with my weekly Moon Day guidance. This is going to be a message for the world as a collective's highest and greatest good for the week of June 15th, 2020. So it does not matter if you are catching this reading. I was going to call it a transmission, but kind of what it is. It does not matter if you're catching this live or if you're catching this on the replay. Even if you're catching this months from now, you are here exactly in divine timing as to when you most need to hear this message or when this message will most resonate with you. This is a generalized overview for the collective. It is not individual personal readings here today, though I do offer personal readings privately. If you do wish to book a session with me, you can do so by messaging me here on my page. You can also check out my services and my fees, and I do also offer remote healing sessions as well. So with that said, I'm going to take a second to say hello to all of you popping in. Oh, Jillian, I love you so much. Thank you for being up with me. I know it is very late over there in Scotland, so thank you. Hello, beautiful Courtney. Happy Moon Day. Hello, Di. Julie, welcome. Annette, welcome, beautiful lady. Thank you all for being here. So really quickly, while people are noticing or giving people time to let them know I'm here live, I'm actually just going to share. So just bear with me one moment. But I do want to ask how all of you are doing and how all of you are feeling this Moon Day. Hi, Alexandra. Welcome, beautiful. Let's see if it'll let me. There we go. Hi, Carmela. Welcome. Thanks for being here. And I probably should just ask, can everybody hear and see me okay? Just want to make sure before I go on. Di says, feeling restless. Ooh. Well, I suppose that makes sense, considering we are in the gateway of the solstice, solar eclipse, as well as the new moon in the sign of Cancer. So we're going to talk all about that on the energy forecast. Okay, all done. Thank you, Courtney. I appreciate that. Hi, Laura. Hello, Caitlin. Welcome. Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Jillian. Yeah, Courtney says also, I'm feeling relaxed and antsy at the same time. Interesting. Very interesting. So, for those of you who are new to my page, how this works. This is an oracle guidance message for this week only, the week of June 15th. But again, as I said, it does not matter when you find yourself watching here. You are watching when you most need to hear this message. It is a message, again, of positive higher guidance that I use, that I call forward for the collective, for all of us, using oracle cards as well as my own intuitive oracular abilities. And so that message is really just to give us all a bit of an awareness as to what might be going on energetically, what universal advice comes forward for us all to help us move in flow with the energy harmoniously. And having that heads up gives us some advantage. It does help us not to be swept away. It helps us to remain grounded. Or really, again, like I said, embrace the energy knowingly, moving forward with it. We kind of see what we can do to basically have the energy work in our favor versus just kind of blindly going through this without really knowing what's happening, what's going on. So that is why I do these readings here. So what I'd like to do first is news and announcements. So I talk a little bit about what's going on here, if anything, at Magical Me, evolving into the cosmic heart, or Oracles of the Light page, as that is my sister business with my partners Lindsay and Karen, and I do work doing weekly podcasts and have a private Ascension Tools group with Rachel Goodwin on evolving into the cosmic heart. So I kind of take the opportunity to do it all in one shot. So I would do that first, and then I like to talk about the energy or empathy forecast. So what I'm energetically feeling, if I know that there's anything astrologically going on with the planets, with the moon, anything that we might need to know about that's going to impact us in some way, and what I'm feeling for myself. And then I pull an oracle card reading for all of us and what we most need to know. And then after that, we do a mudra together that we can work with all week long. And I'll talk more about what mudras are when we get there. Hi, Brandy. Blessings and welcome. Your intuition just led you to become single. Well, you know, it is a big, big time for releasing those things that are just no longer in alignment with our path. We're going to talk about this with the energy forecast, releasing those things that are just not serving us in any way anymore. And this is probably for the highest and greatest good of both parties. So, you know, best of luck to you. Hello, Reese. Welcome. Hi, Amanda. Hi, Lynette. Welcome. Annette says, lots of old karmic stuff from way back coming up to be released. You are not lying, sister. You are absolutely right. We're going to talk about all of that and more when we get to the energy forecast. But for now, I'm going to go really briefly into the news and announcements. It's very hot. Don't want to spill it on myself. All right, so Oracles of the Light, as I said, is my sister business. So I everything kind of crosses between Magical Me and Oracles of the Light. So right now, we just released our monthly newsletter for the month of June. We are a little late this month, but are you ever really late? Or is it divine timing? So we released the newsletter yesterday. So if you have not received it, you might want to check your spam. Maybe you haven't subscribed yet. Maybe you want to go over to our website, www.oraclesofthelight.com, and subscribe. You should get a pop-up right away or within a few seconds asking you if you'd like to subscribe. Every month we talk a little bit about what we're energetically feeling, what might be going on. We also do some specials, different offers and whatnot on the newsletter. We talk a little bit about, we give lots of information and activities, mudras, all these different things that you could use to help really embrace the energy or really come into balance within yourself. So welcome, Kathleen. I'm so happy that you made it. All right. Thank you so much for popping in, for being here. You're in perfect timing. I'm just talking about the news and announcements. So the newsletter, lost my train of thought for a sec. The newsletter, you can subscribe again. If you need some help with subscribing, just message me or message on Oracles of the Lights page, and we can help you. And again, if you have not received it, you may want to check your spam, because sometimes mine automatically gets sent there. Sometimes it even gets sent to promotions in Gmail. So that's like a whole separate folder. You might want to check that out if you subscribed and just didn't see it. Okay. Hi, Michelle. Welcome, lovely. I'm glad you made it. So with that said, Oracles are offering a new reading for this month, and really in alignment with the energy coming forward with the solstice. It is a fairy elemental reading, so connecting with the energy of the fae. A lot of people dismiss the energy of the fae as being very like foo-foo and kind of like, or very like, how should I say, just kind of like this little magical little tiny beings that are just fun and playful. But what people really don't understand about the fae is that they are here assisting humanity via the earth. They are very much the earth guardians and do assist with our, our plants, nature. They are healers for even our animals and our fur babies. So they do a very wide variety of things for us. They are incredibly intelligent beings. They're not to be dismissed as little magical, tiny Disney figures. They are incredibly, also, I will say, fairies do have a bit of ego, in the sense that if you are not in their eyes trustworthy, or if they don't see that you have something like a pure of heart, or that you respect nature, if they see you litter and things like that, they don't tend to like those things. So they may not make themselves known. So it's very difficult to connect sometimes with the Fae energy, but they're really making themselves known, very surprisingly so, and do want to connect with humanity. Maybe because of the time that we're in right now, but they do want to connect. And so oracles are bringing forth messages from the Fae for what they most want you to know, and how you can work with them, how you can connect with them. And so it's a really great reading. We're offering that right now. It will be for $40. If you're interested, send us a message on Oracles of the Light and we will get you booked and scheduled. Okay. You can also, if you have the newsletter, you can go right in there and click right. I think there's a link that allows you to just automatically book a reading. Okay. Hi, Lara. Welcome, beautiful. Oh, I'm so happy that you made it. I know it's very late for you, so no worries if you can't stay. Hi, Jill. Welcome. Kathleen says each one has a vibration, energy, tone. It lives within and works within. Absolutely. Very similar to the way that I sense and connect with flower spirits and the tree spirits. They each have their own signature, especially the flowers. Each have their own signature. They each have their own energy and vibration that does assist us differently and uniquely. So it's just like that with the Fae. And the Fae are not just fairy, they are elementals. Like Kathleen said, they do have, it's kind of like a broad terminology for them. There are many different aspects of the Fae, different beings within the Fae. So it'd be interesting to see the type of messages that come forward for those of you who feel called to those readings, okay? Also, Oracles of the Light are hosting our monthly spiritual development circle again. This one will be Friday, June 26th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. It will be hosted live on Zoom video conferencing, but if you cannot attend live, we do record it and then we share it with those who have signed up only. So it's not something that's put out there for everyone. You do have to sign up for it. It is only $10 per household. So it's not $10 per person, $10 per household. Usually runs about 2 hours. There's more information on Oracles of the Light and on Magical Me. There's an event that has been created if you want to sign up or read more on it. But this month's topic is all about working with the clairs, or an introduction to connecting with the clairs. And this month we are focusing on clairsentience and claircognizance. So very good for developmental skills, helping you understand, helping you begin to open up to different things. So that's what the Spirit Circle serves. And every month we kind of tackle a different topic. So, welcome, Lynette. Glad you are able to make it. Hi, Karen. Welcome, lovely. So far, that is it. We are still offering all of our services remotely until at least the end of June. We are waiting for the state of Pennsylvania, or at least our county in Pennsylvania, where oracles are located, to go into the green so that we get the okay that we are once again allowed to work in person. Because as you know, social distancing when it comes to energy body work in person is kind of obsolete. really difficult to do that. So as of now, we offer our remote healing sessions, our remote card readings, and that is something that we offer all year long anyway. So it's always an opportunity for even those who are far away and would still like to benefit from our services. Okay. All right. I think that might be it for the moment. As everyone knows, every Monday I do a live podcast on Evolving into the Cosmic Heart on Facebook, and that is with Rachel Goodwin. And we do have a private membership group for $22 a month. Rachel and I both channel different messages as well as ascension tools to work with for everyone to assist them in basically in raising our frequency and best embracing the energy that's coming through with this new earth transition and these changes that are occurring. So we bring forth a lot of powerful messages from different ascended masters, different beings like the dolphins. And Rachel and myself also are offering now light healing transmissions. And those are $55 unless you are in our private group. Then you get a discount, and then they are $33. But the light healing transmissions consist of light song, light language, specifically to what you most need. And it really does allow the opportunity for those of you interested to tell us what you might be struggling with, what is currently going on within your life that might be coming up, but you just don't really know how to get around it. The light language and light song really do provide the necessary, I like to see it as like a door opener that clears away the blockage and the debris and really does allow you to ascend in your consciousness a bit to help you come into that place where you can make those changes within your life. So it's not doing the work for you, but it is facilitating the work for you to be able to do it yourself, which is really beautiful. And it's always different. It's always surprising what comes through. It does also assist with energetic, emotional, and mental healing, as well as expansion. And we have done at least one so far where there have been surprise beings of light and ascended masters who have stepped forward, and it's just been a really beautiful experience. So those are called light transmissions. If you're interested, you can message me or message us on Evolving into the Cosmic Heart for more information. All right, I think that's it for the news and announcements. I think I did pretty good considering that was all winging it. Hi, Kim. Welcome, beautiful. So let's get into the energy forecast and what is going on. So I know some of you said that in the beginning here. You had been feeling a little restless, anxious, and then relaxed at the same time. Well, what I will tell you, what I have noticed is that I've read a few different reports on the Schumann resonance, again, which is the Earth's basically electromagnetic field or frequency, suddenly just like spiking and jumping again. And I believe what I read, it did mention that the Schumann resonance, which is also how we are impacted physically and energetically by those spikes in frequency. I heard that it was like up and down, up and down, up and down, which is very unusual, and that it's really hitting like all-time highs. So when this happens, it does have an effect because, again, as above, so below, as within, so without, which is the theme of our June newsletter. It really does have an impact on you in some way or another. It could make you feel tired. It could make you feel emotional. It could make you feel irritable. It could also make you feel physically ill, nauseous, headaches, things like that. Obviously within reason. Not everything can just be, as I always say, spirited away. So if something is lasting and lingering, you absolutely want to get that looked at by a physician, somebody who is qualified to make diagnoses or rule anything out per se. But for the most part, it does tend to have an impact on us. So I do think that possibly could have to do with those feelings that you're having, like the anxiousness, because I tend to notice that lots of heart palpitations occur at that time. Because when high energy comes in, it really does. It's like the way that I see it in my mind is like it picks us up and we're suddenly vibrating like really, really high, and then it drops you back down again. And then you're just like, what just happened? And it's like that 2:00 crash that sometimes you experience during the day. So it's kind of like that. That's what I'm feeling. It could be responsible. Keep in mind. Hi, Dawn, beautiful. Welcome and thank you for being here. Happy Moonday. Keep in mind that we have now entered the gateway and the portal of this Sunday's, depending on where you are energetically and time-wise, this Sunday's summer solstice. That's a big deal within itself. New moon. No coincidence that there is a new moon on the summer solstice. New moon is a time of rebirthing energy. It is a time of planting new seeds, new cycles beginning and blossoming, whereas the full moon is more of a time of completion but also empowerment. New moon is a time where the moon itself is being birthed, and once again, as above, so below. So too are we. So it is an opportunity for us to embrace new cycles, new beginnings, a rebirth, new opportunities to plant new intentions and new seeds to start new paths, new chapters. So on top of that, we have a solar eclipse, and it's a big one. So eclipses in themselves bring about life-changing circumstances, life-altering energies. So it really does provide that oomph for the letting go of what's not serving, because think about the cycle. New moon, birthing of the new. Summer solstice, which is a time of masculine power. The sun is at its peak. The light is at its peak. Now, in the southern hemisphere, people are they will be experiencing the winter solstice, which is then the ending of the darkness and the coming back into light. So we are getting ready to experience the light in the northern hemisphere at the peak of its power. That means we are coming to the peak of our power before the light begins to slowly descend back and the days become shorter and shorter. So it is going to be the longest day of the year. And at this time, again, with that masculine solar energy, the masculine energy is all about putting things into action. That is our driven, ambitious energy. So if you put all these together in a great big pot, what does it mean for us? I didn't even mention the fact that it's going to be in the very deeply intuitive, deeply emotional sign of Cancer. All right. And I see some of your comments. I'm going to get to them in one moment. So I don't want you to think I'm ignoring you. Is that why I feel so drained? Very likely so. I've also noticed that the sun feels very different to me. Yes, I know. The environment is shifting and it's changing. Global warming, we all know this. The ozone layer is sadly, very, very thin, if not almost non-existent. But that's not what I mean. The sun feels different to me in a sense that it feels like it is more. So, okay, this is my intuitive philosophy. All right, so take it how you will. You don't have to resonate with it. It's okay. But what I see in my mind when I talk about the sun feeling different, as a very strong energy, sensitive and clairsentient, it feels to me like the sun is now been turned on in a way that it hasn't been before. And it is now directly sending in solar codes and light directly into our solar plexuses. That means the sun has been a bit different and stronger lately. And some of you I have particularly noticed that I burned very quickly being out there in the sun, and that you can only be out in it so much without immediately feeling drained. But the sun is supposed to re-energize you, right? It's supposed to revitalize you. It does, but it also then you have the side effects from that, which is maybe why you're feeling a little bit drained. Because depending on how much time you've been out spending time in the sun as well, even if you're spending long periods of time, I do feel like it's really doing a lot of work on us in our energy bodies as well as in our physical bodies with our solar plexuses, which is our power center, life force center, which does facilitate and propel our growth to stand in our truth, to stand in our power, to break away from those things that are no longer serving us, to dissolve the old karmic stuff like Annette mentioned, to dissolve the old enslaving paradigms, programs, beliefs, and those ways of being that are just not serving humanity or planet Earth any longer. So it does feel like there's so much going on with the sun to begin with, that add in all of this, now you have the sign of Cancer that both, if I'm not mistaken, the moon and the sun move into on the solstice, the 21st. The moon and the sun will be in Cancer. You don't hear that very often. I think a few months ago we had another sign do the same exact thing. Might have been Taurus, but I'm not positive. So that in itself, could you imagine now our masculine, our sun, is in this watery, emotional, intuitive sign. Our moon, the sun is our masculine. Our moon is our feminine, which is also already intuitive, emotional, right? Now you bring that into the Cancer sign as well. Is that something of a divine union that is occurring on the summer solstice? Divine union within, harmonizing. So all of the things that are out of alignment are starting to come up. And I don't know about you this week, but I have felt incredibly empowered. And I know this week is short because it's Monday, but I mean, like over the weekend, do you remember last Moonday's message? I know I'm kind of jumping all over here, but do you remember last Moonday's message? And it was a gift, a potential of growth, nurturance, and potentiality coming forward. Do you remember that? Did you receive your gift? If you didn't, I'm going to ask you to really step back and examine your life over this last week. What has occurred within you? What has occurred outside of you? What has occurred within relationships, friendships? Is it not a gift? Really ask yourself again. I myself did receive my gift, and so did many people that I constantly communicate with on a regular basis. And my gift was empowerment, inspiration, coming into my true potential. Things being revealed to me that I didn't fully understand before or even think were possible to achieve before. And it has been so freeing. And not only that, it's like for the first time, without a doubt in my life, I feel like I'm living my life purpose. I'm in alignment with that. I'm coming into alignment with my soul's truth and my soul's purpose. That's a big deal. So I feel like that's happening for a lot of us this week. But in order to be able to do that, yes, there are some things that are going to have to be released. Whether it be those karmic patterns and situations, whether it be friendships, whether it be relationships, whether it be jobs, whether it just be patterns and behaviors. Maybe you are altering your own perception, because I know that happened to me. So I want you to really sit down and ask yourself, what is going on within your life? What is it that this solstice, eclipse, new moon is giving you the opportunity to do, giving you the opportunity to change? Because this is about propelling us forward. It isn't about catastrophe and disaster. This is a very phenomenal, amazing thing that is occurring for us all. So really take a good look and ask yourself what has occurred over the last week and what is still occurring this week, because we are going to be leading into that solstice over the weekend. So, great time to begin to really start to reflect. It's also a great time to start to embody. I wrote this down today, so I'm going to just briefly mention, if you have not tuned into today's Evolving into the Cosmic Hearts live discussion today, you're going to want to check that out, because both Rachel and I shared some amazing information, but we also mentioned how the crow messenger came forward to talk to us about the collective consciousness and coming into our truth. But one of the key things that stood out to me was about us embodying and stirring up deep memories of our ancient truth and calling. And I can absolutely resonate with that, because that is what is occurring for me. And also birthing magic into matter. So the alchemical transformation occurring to birth our magic into matter. So what is your magic? What is it that you've been wanting to do? This is time to dream and plant the seeds and then take those dreams and make them reality. No more are we able to just remain in those places, in those situations that just weren't deep enough. The sign of Cancer is about going deep, digging deep down inside of you, going all the way down to that place, those recesses of those places that have been buried or, that you haven't maybe felt comfortable enough talking about. But when you get really real with yourself, what is it there that is wanting to be awakened, that wants to be illuminated under the light of the solstice? It's time. It is time. That is what the crow said. For that full message, check that video out today. The replay is still available. I even shared it here on Magical Me. The crow say it is time. Now is the hour, my friends. Okay. So fascinating, magical, powerful things happening. It could be, I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat, it could be a deeply emotional week. I'm almost going to guarantee it. Plus, Mercury is going retrograde in 3 days. Is it the 18th, I think? We all know Mercury is communication, travel, technology. And when Mercury starts to appear to go in the opposite direction or retrograde, it does bring a little chaos to those areas. But it's serving a purpose because those areas were things that need deep evaluation, reflection, also a period of maybe release, resting, until we get that momentum to move forward again. So it might be a little unique and different for everybody, depending on how you are impacted by Mercury. But for the most part, this is serving us to move us forward, all right? We have, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, one more eclipse coming in July. Might be two, because I always was under the impression that if you have one at the full moon, you're going to have one at the new moon and vice versa. So we may have 2 more coming in July, but I feel like one more, at least big one, in July. So this is a cycle to keep pushing us and pushing us forward. So those things that you have been wanting to do, you've been thinking about doing, now is the time to make those changes, or at least begin to put them down on paper, to create and devise a plan for yourself. Okay? All right. Courtney says, I've cried quite a bit in the last week. Oh boy, more to come. Well, maybe not more to come. Maybe you did yours in advance. Maybe you'll be all cried out and now you're ready to do the work because you're clearing space. Crying is so healing. I always tell people who say to me, I don't cry, or I don't like to cry. Man, cry. Let it out, because you don't want to keep that in. What are you doing to yourself when you're keeping it in and repressing it and holding it in? Crying is a therapy. It's a form of release. And it doesn't matter if you cry at the littlest drop of a dime. It's okay. Crying is how you're not holding it in and you're not creating poison and toxin for yourself. So it's very therapeutic. It's also making room by releasing. So important to be able to do that, Courtney. And yes, there might be some tears this week because it will be so emotional. But it is, the emotions are there for you to get in touch with, for you to acknowledge. And not only that, but to really, I'm a Cancer moon, so I know all about this. And it's, sometimes I get to those places where, I can go really deep, and it's not often that I can go really deep with people, because some people, it makes them uncomfortable, and some people just aren't ready to embrace maybe some of the depth that, Scorpion Sun, Cancer Moon can go to. So imagine that Cancer Moon bringing it up for you to go to those uncomfortable places now, to go into the unconscious and bring it conscious, because that is how we do the magic. That is how we do the work that needs to be brought up into balance or in alignment. So we're going to be having that balancing or divine union of our feminine and masculine as well. So it's going to be quite an interesting occurrence, but it just feels so good. I'm already feeling it, and for me, it feels so good. I feel like I'm on this high that I don't want to come down off of. So I hope that you can all embrace this magic for what it is and really reflect on what gifts are being presented to you that maybe you wouldn't recognize as a gift, but they are. Okay? All right. Hi, Karen. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Liz. Hi, Amanda. Welcome. Let me scroll back up to some of the comments where I missed them. Kathleen says, for me, it's a numb void feeling. Oh, right now. That would make sense. I mean, it does kind of feel like we're in the void, right? Kind of feels like that, because that's the void. I think one time somebody got irritated with me for saying this, but I'm going to say it anyway, because that's just how I roll. To me, the void is also the same place of creation. So it is the void of nothingness, right? Also the void of great potentiality, where everything comes from. So it is nothing and everything at the same time. And somebody got upset with me for saying that and said it was very disrespectful. I don't see it that way. And I'm sorry if it does make anybody feel like the place of creation that we come from is also the place of nothing, because nothing and everything exists simultaneously. Maybe that's just difficult for people to embrace, and that's okay. But nothing and everything. So that means we are releasing all that we were, all that we knew. And that is no longer in alignment. So we come into the place of nothingness now. And that's kind of where we're finding ourselves. But when you come into the place of nothingness, well, that's amazing, because now you're like a clean slate, prime for creation again. So you are full of everything, potential to create anything that your soul and heart desires. So what do you want to birth with the energy of new moon, eclipse, solstice? It's going to be primed it's going to be the catalyst for you to have the momentum necessary to birth it. So focus there. Let the releasing happen and focus on where you're going. Okay? I hope that makes sense. Courtney says, leave it to me to be going for surgery during such an energetic time frame. Well, my dear, don't you see why you're going for surgery in such an energetic time frame? It's the end of a cycle. It's time. It's time to wrap up that old wound. And so you can be ready to birth anew. Start fresh. Okay? And yes, you, Kathleen, as well. Yeah, you are as well. Kathleen says, literally for me is seeing through new eyes. Very interesting that it got put off till now. Absolutely. Seeing through new eyes. That's really perfectly sums it up too. Because it does feel like it's a massive consciousness shift. And when you have a consciousness shift, well, then you have a perception shift. So you do see things very differently, which is so necessary right now for us all. Hi, beautiful Deborah. Kathleen says, it is because we, or rather our universe, is in a place it has never been in, and we as a planet are seeing a different or a part of a different piece of the sun. That also makes perfect sense. Thank you for that. Yeah, because we're in a completely different place, such new, unfamiliar territory. Alexandra says, I'm going to try to focus on bringing out my inner spirit once again, even if it is with tears. Oh, yes, good for you. More power to you, sister. You can do that. You can absolutely do this. It is your birthright. Okay. Hi, Kristen. Welcome. Annette says, my daughter's father had came back into her life after 42 years, and they are both Cancerians. Wow. Well, that is not a coincidence, is that? After 42 years. Wow. Well, bless them, and may their journey finally begin to move forward in a very positive direction. Amanda has surgery on Wednesday. Wow, see? Look at that. No coincidences, my friends. I think the perfect way to wrap that up is finally healing and resolving old wounds that you can move forward from. Because even though it's on your physical body, we know that in metaphysics, everything is first spiritual and then transforms into the physical. So there was a spiritual, emotional, mental wound that translated onto your physical body, which is prompting the need for a surgery. So therefore, look at this. You're having a wonderful resolution. All right, yes, sending love, healing, and blessings to those of you having surgeries. May you have a prompt, speedy, but thorough healing. Okay. All right. So with that said, thank you, Karen. So empowering. Yes, absolutely. Let's get into the Moonday message. We didn't even get to the Moonday message yet. We already got all this magic happening. Look at that. So, in lieu of the solstice energy, which is also what I like to refer to as a Gaian entry point. This is so entry points are when I see gateways, doorways, portals, whatever you want to refer to them as, vortexes, opening up, and either Gaian, which is earth energy, or galactic energy, opens and comes in. I tend to notice that Gaian energy happens during certain Sabbats or times of the year, and more galactic happens at different times of the year. And then on the solstices, it often feels to me like it's both galactic and cosmic. galactic and Gaian, so earthian. And so it's coming in together, and we're having a harmonizing, or it feels like I'm seeing like radio equipment, and they're showing me equalizer. That's what I hear. So it's like a harmonizing, stabilizing, equalizing of energies from both above and below, right? Hi, beautiful Katrina. Welcome, lovely. So that to me opens up doorways to not only the cosmic and the galactic energy, but it also opens up big doorways for the elemental energies to assist us and work with us. And they're very powerfully healing. So I chose to work with the wild wisdom of the Fairy Oracle once again, because I cannot get enough of working with their energy right now. Feeling very called to them, very connected with them. So with that said, I don't think, I was going to show you the deck just to give credit to Lucy, but the wild wisdom of the Fairy Oracle is by Lucy Cavendish. Okay. So I don't have the box right here. I don't know what I did with it. You should see. If you could really see what things look like around me, you would wonder how I find anything. A million decks all over my floor. All right, everybody. So let's close our eyes and let's just take a nice, deep, relaxing breath as we all connect. And release. And so, what do we as a collective most need to know for our highest and greatest good this week of June 15th, 2020? Ooh, thought there was one that wanted to sneak out on me. Ooh, okay. Let's see. This is so on point. So, the number of the card is a 29. Hey, Lindsay. Welcome. Courtney says my favorite deck. Yes, it's one of the originals for me. So it's a 29, which breaks down to be a number 11. Numerically, 11 is considered a master number, which means it is considered sacred as a double digit. So it doesn't get broken down, although it does still hold the vibration of the 1 as well as the vibration of the number 2, which to me is all about balance and union. So, good things coming in regarding balances and unions and partnerships, okay? So it could be collaborations, it could be romance, it could be family, it could be friendships. I feel like unions are going to start to come in. I keep going like this, and and that's because when I channel information, spirit almost makes my hands go into like sign language sometimes. So there's definitely mergers. I'm seeing mergers coming together, okay? So the 11 also is the number of, I always see it like a doorway. And to me, it's like a doorway is opening as an opportunity for us to cross a threshold, to enter into new territory, to experience a new beginning, new opportunities of some sort. It's also the number of manifestation and like instant manifestation. So be mindful of where your thoughts are as well this week. There's a massive bird that just flew, almost like it was going to go right into my house above my window here. Probably was a crow, considering the messages today. So yes, the number 11 to me is also about like instant manifesting. So lots of abundance, prosperity. Be mindful of what you're creating, okay? Because that's exactly what you're doing. You're creating, okay? Also, 11 to me is the number of like illuminations, revelations, epiphany moments, awakenings. So something, coming into that place of like, oh my goodness, aha, So I feel like big revelations also coming forward. But once we open up a doorway, it's not always stable ground immediately, right? So the card itself is Into the Woods, and it says, stranger in a strange land, new experiences, feeling uncertain, transition zone. It's this beautiful card. This beautiful fairy maiden, and she's kind of, she's in the woods on her journey, but she does feel very uncertain of where she is. You can see she's looking over her shoulder. There's all these beautiful purple flowers in the background, though, that remind me so much of like lilac. And lilac is an incredibly spiritual plant. It does help us have that spiritual awakening moment. So this to me is big. It really feels like having these revelations that we almost don't even know what to do with, but I feel so much like so many people are coming into alignment with their truth, their soul's truth. So in that process, though, it can feel very uncertain. So we are going to be in a transition zone this week where we are moving, leaving behind one way as we get ready to enter into this doorway, into this new territory, this new way of being. So the message really with this is kind of go easy. Don't try to control it so much. When we try to control things, we actually create a lot of discord in our own lives versus just flowing and allowing. What I'm also drawn to in the card is the fact that there are 2 bunnies or hares in the card. Again, 2 with that balance. And bunnies and hare are all about forward movement. They're also about fertility and prosperity. So I do really feel like it's showing you like, you know, the rabbit is leading you in the right direction. Just keep moving forward. I know it's very tempting to want to look backwards, but you know, it's kind of like the hands of a clock. Going backwards, it doesn't serve anything. It doesn't serve anyone. And really, honestly, you can't move backwards. It's only about moving forward now. So you might be tempted to look over your shoulder at those things that are no longer in alignment, but it's just temptation. It's just fear. It's very easy when you're in a transition zone to feel uncomfortable, to feel fear because you don't know where you're going. And who is comfortable and not a little bit afraid when they're walking a path that has not yet been walked upon? So I feel like the overall message for us is just to remember where we're going, to remember that we are moving forward, and to really listen to our body and listen to our energy as we move through the energy of the week, but do not allow fear to be your ruler. Know that things are happening that seem scary, but essentially they are happening for your highest and greatest good. Okay? So it's okay to feel uncomfortable. It's okay to feel out of your body. And it might happen. You literally might feel out of your body. Spend as much time in nature with the elemental beings as you can. I know that they're showing you signs. The bunnies or the hares are leading you down the pathway. Are they leading you down the rabbit hole? They're leading us all down the rabbit hole, my friends. But what is waiting down in the rabbit hole but the rest of our lives, the future? So really coming into alignment with our truths. But that is also a process as we leave behind the old. Okay, so it's not easy, but we are supported. That's really the overall message here. We are supported as we are in a very uncomfortable territory. All right. So I hope that resonates, and I hope that makes sense as you move through the energy this week, and that you can keep that in the back of your mind. And just remember that after these next couple of weeks, things are going to look very, very differently for us all. Okay. Kathleen says, maybe not a crow that flew by, but could also be a red-tailed hawk. It really could. It absolutely could. And, you know, I see them from time to time when I'm driving, so would not be surprised. That's a little hee-hee between me and Kathleen. Okay, let's see if I missed anything. Hi, beautiful Colleen. Welcome. So I did talk about the energy forecast for those of you who are just tuning in. Kind of really adds into or leads up to this whole message, helps it to make a little bit more sense. And any news and announcements, I talked about those. You can catch them all back on the replay. Hi, Noreen. Oh, Katrina, thank you so much for that confirmation, love. I appreciate that, and you. Oh, Noreen, you did not miss me, sweetie. You're here, and you know the replay will be there for you. But thank you for that. I appreciate you being here as well. Appreciate you all being here with me. So, with that said, we're going to move into the mudra that can give us a little bit of assistance this week. So, what are mudras? for anybody who is not used to working with them or hasn't really heard of them before or doesn't really know much about them. The long and short of it, I'll do my best to do that. Mudras are, basically the word itself is Sanskrit. Oh, Kathleen says, thank you once again, but my final note here is I don't want bunnies in my garden. Yes, quite the symbolic message there, Kathleen. You know what? I don't want bunnies in my garden, although I see them all the time. So I'm like, not real fertility, bunnies, symbolic fertility. Symbolic, but for some of you, maybe real fertility. So watch for the bunnies in your garden. And maybe watch your garden then if you don't want bunnies in them, okay? Oh my goodness, see what you did? This is gonna go in a really different direction soon. Woo! All right. Thank you. Mudras. What are they? The word mudra itself is Sanskrit. Sanskrit is an ancient language, believed to be one of the first languages here on Earth. Don't make me laugh again. And it's also believed to be a form of light language, as it is such an ancient language. And really, for those of you who have ever worked with Sanskrit words, if you can pronounce them, because I certainly really can't do it, but when you can pronounce them, the vibration itself is actually the sound you're emitting when you say these words sends this frequency out into your energy field and into the atmosphere, that it is actually creating movement, creating healing. And so the word mudra itself, and I should say that these have been used for thousands of years, and they're still very widely used in many spiritual practices. Many different cultures use them, but they have been most known to be used in ancient Tibet by the Tibetan monks, often seen depicted in the Hindu culture with the Hindu gods and goddesses. And so they're very much, we use them even unconsciously. So when we're doing things like this, or sometimes I catch myself talking and I'm going like this, all of these different things, or I catch myself doing this a lot. These are mudras. The word mudra itself translates to the word seal, like an energy seal or a button, if you will. This seal aligns vibrationally to energy centers within your body, also known as chakras. In our energy body, we have many chakras, 9 major, but we also have multiple layers, different bodies. So physical body, emotional body, mental body, your spiritual or light body, just to kind of keep that brief. So working with a mudra, when you use your hands, you're activating your palm chakras, which allows you to channel energy through them. Your fingers are connected to the planets, also connected to the elements, which each then holds its own frequency and vibration. So when you are using these together with intention, channeling energy, as well as breathing techniques, you are channeling energy into those energy centers, which then allow you to work on those energy centers or whatever that chakra area rules, and to alleviate blockage energetically, emotionally, mentally, physically. It also allows for the alleviation of dis-ease and discomfort within our physical bodies, as well as expands us consciously. So they're really powerful. Some mudras work with just one chakra. Some mudras work with all the chakras or many chakras at once. So really, really powerful way to take our own power and well-being into our own hands and really facilitate growth. So I like to pull from this card deck known as Mudras for Awakening the Energy Body. This is by Alison de Nicola. And so working with this, I ask for a message that goes in alignment with our oracle message for the week. And therefore, we can use this mudra by ourselves. We're going to do it together, but we can also do it all week long by ourselves. And it is only going to continue to facilitate that growth necessary as we transition, as we continue to expand and evolve. Okay, so Amanda says there are a ton of bunnies here in the burrow. Maybe you've seen them, Jamie, near your business. We have, actually last year, I think, coming outside, we were shocked for the first time ever. We saw one in our parking lot. But here where I live in Lopacan, my yard, they're constantly in my yard. And it's like, I know what you mean, bunny. I know what you mean. Okay, stay over in somebody else's yard. And we're good. But no, they, you know, the abundance and the prosperity could also be symbolic, everybody. So bless those bunnies and give gratitude for their presence. Okay. So sometimes, because mudras are so powerful, that they do come with a bit of a caution. Because if you are already experiencing some physical ailments, let's say, I'm just going to put this one out there and say irritable, like you suffer from gastrointestinal issues or irritable bowel syndrome. If we pull a solar plexus mudra that specifically targets your digestive system and area, well, it's going to overstimulate that, which could cause a little bit of irritation. It doesn't mean necessarily that it's a bad thing. It doesn't mean that it's not still helping you, but it just means you might not want to experience that. You know, I know last week when I was suffering from upper stomach spasms, I pulled a mudra and it was a solar plexus radiant light. And I was like, oh no, nope. I don't want to, even though it was what I needed, I didn't want any more than I needed. I was good with what I was enduring. So I will let you know if there is a caution, and then you can choose as to whether or not to use the mudra at your own discretion. Okay. Hi, Lori. You made it just in time for mudras, but you know everything else you can catch back on replay. All right. Here we go. So what mudra comes forth for the collective good for the week of June 15th, 2020? For what we most need. What did I just say? It's like it heard me and laughed at me. It's not a mudra. It is the chakra that we are specifically working with. Am I surprised? Absolutely not. With all that solar eclipse, solar solstice, summer solstice, all of the sun solar energy, we got the solar plexus, my friends. Karen, I know you're probably like, you're going to shut this video off and not even listen anymore. I know, with the solar plexus stuff. Oh, but why? Why is it solar plexus stuff, right? The solar plexus stuff is because what I said earlier. This is our power center, okay? Our solar plexus rules over our stomach area, just above our navel. And it is our energetic power center, our life force energy, which, yes, it does assist in vitalizing us and bringing in renewed energy, but also helps us to stand in our power. In order to be able to come into our truth, we also have to feel fearless. We also have to feel courageous. We also have to have that drive. And that is our masculine energy centers there. So solar plexus is being activated, coming online, and it is facilitating the power and the will that we need to come into our truths, to put the changes in action, if you will. So a little bit about the solar plexus. It's Manipura, that is the Sanskrit term, and it says its meaning is the city of gems. So our solar plexus is the city of gems. Its sound it makes, if you want to work with the sound instead of a mudra for it, it's Ram, R-A-M, Ram. And you would just chant that over and over again. That vibration is assisting your solar plexus, Karen. Color is golden yellow. Its symbol is the 10-petal yellow lotus flower. It rules digestion and pancreas. Its element is fire. Its qualities are vitality, determination, conscious action, and divine will. All necessary. Okay? So with that said, that is the solar plexus that is being targeted, or the chakra that is being targeted. I will now ask if there is a mudra that can work with us with that. Okay? Ooh, yes. Okay, we like this one. The Matsya Mudra. And it is fluidity. This is connected to the sacral chakra. That is your feminine. center, your creative creatrix center. It's also where our emotions are stored, where repressed emotions are stored, everybody. So yeah, we're going to have the masculine and the feminine coming together. So we are targeting this for the release of this. So we're going to have that fluid movement between the two, the balancing, the harmonizing, but also this is going to allow for those deep repressed emotions to be released so that they can be healed and transformed. It assists with inner refreshment, emotional ease. We are so going to be able to need that, the emotional ease, when that Cancerian energy comes floating in the solar and the moon. And nourishment. Releases muscular contraction. Karen. Supports joints and eases, and I keep saying Karen, everybody, she's probably going to smack me, but I keep saying Karen because Karen is she's feeling the solar plexus stuff right now as well, unfortunately. So sending Karen much love and healing. And so it does release that muscular contraction that, I could have used this last week. Why didn't I look? It supports joints and eases inflammation, cultivates emotional fluidity and calmness. So this one does not come with a caution, thank goodness, and we will work together with this one for those of you who choose to. If not, then you can, I'm going to post a picture of it on my page after this is done live, and then you can save it to your phone or your device, and then you can work with it on your own all week long, okay? All right. No. Well, it's helping you. I love you too. All right. So everybody want to do this together? We are going to place your right palm over the back of your left hand. Both hands facing down. Right hand over left palm, over the back of left palm, I'm sorry. Both hands facing down. So you're probably going to be doing it this way, I'd imagine. Okay. Keep all of the fingers stacked while extending the thumbs out to the side. So that's what it looks like. So if you were doing it, but the palms are going to go down, okay? Hold your hands with the fingers extending outward away from your abdomen, okay? So right in front of, I would say, just below your navel. Or you could do it right in the middle, right there in the navel area for solar and sacral. And then I'm going to have you all, hello, beautiful Jeanette, welcome, or Janet, I'm sorry if I said your name wrong. Hi, Annie. I think I've done that to you before, Janet, so I'm sorry about that. I always see Jeanette. I don't know why. Maybe just because it sounds so fancy. All right, so I'm going to have you straighten your spine. Close your eyes. And we're going to do this 6 breaths. So take a nice deep breath in through your nose. And release. Channel the energy and the breath into your palms. Again, nice deep breath in through your nose. And release. Again, breathe in. And release. Three more times. Take a nice deep breath in. And release. Breathe in. And release. Last one. Breathe in. And release. And you can state gentle waves of ease flow through my mind and body. Gentle waves of ease flow through my mind and body. Gentle waves of ease flow through my mind and body. And so it is. And you can open your eyes. All right. Hi, beautiful Flo. Oh, Annie, no problem, love. Thank you, though, for trying to be here with us all. And I do hope that you enjoy the replay, Flo. We just wrapped up the mudra, so you know everything will be available for you watching back later. So that one felt really nice. So remember this week, okay? I'm going to encourage you. I'm going to post this as soon as we're done. I encourage you to save this to your phone so that when anything does come up to the surface, anything at all, this is going to help ease that. It felt really nice when I was pulling it in, and I could definitely feel like something felt like it was like opening, if you will. I would say in my womb area, my pelvis area, kind of felt like it was opening on the inside, which just made me feel like breathable. Maybe it was that contraction it talks about, or expansion is more so what it felt like. But I will tell you what was really neat was when I was doing the chimes for you, obviously I have to stop doing the mudra. I actually saw the mudra in my mind's eye happening right in front of me. So it was almost like it was still being done, even though I wasn't able to do it with my physical hands. I thought that was pretty wild. All right, everybody. Oh, no worries, Kathleen. Thank you so much for being here. Enjoy your dinner. Dinner dinged. That was really cool. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being here with me this week. I do hope that the messages resonate with you over the week and bring you comfort. And again, you have this mudra at your disposal. And much love, much blessings. And I do hope to be seeing you back here next Monday.